Hello, it's me again. It's Thursday. I'm so busy. Got so much to do before I go away next week to Vienna, to On Stage. I just need to check that everything is working. And it is, so that's good. Excellent. I am live. Right, let's flip over to YouTube. Yay! So, let me do some quick housekeeping. So, my name is Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the UK, working across the UK, France, Germany, Austria, the Netherlands, Belgium, and the Republic of Ireland. It's almost slipping off the tongue nicely now, getting there, because Belgium and the Republic of Ireland are new. Well, they're not new. They've been around a long while, but they're new to Stampin' Up! Good morning, Gwen from North Carolina. So, yes, this is my job. I get to play with stamps, ink and paper every day, apart from the days when I'm doing admin. So it is my job. So if you are in Europe, any of the countries that I've just mentioned, and you would either like Stampin' Up! Products or would like to do the best deal in the catalogue, which is to join Stampin' Up! For just £99 or €129, for £130 or €175 of product, free shipping, then I would love to welcome you. So who have we got today? We've got Deborah, hello, hello Nora, Inika, Claire, Lorna, yay, lots of people joining. Lots of my team have joined, which is lovely. I always like to see my team supporting me. They are amazing. And on that subject, so Tuesday was my birthday, and I've got lots of lovely cards from people from literally across the world. I mean, literally. Leslie, your card has arrived. It arrived yesterday. All the way. Hello, Kate. Kate has just promoted to Silver Elite. I'm so thrilled for her. She's one of my stamping sisters, so she's a sideline. We have the same upline. She's been working really hard to get to Silver Elite, and she's there. So pleased. And we're travelling out to Vienna together next week. Woohoo! Thank you, Inika, and thank you for your parcel, which has arrived as well. So, on Tuesday, 1st of November, historically, it's also the day when Stampin' Up! Have been announcing their recognition. So who's done well across the country, various countries in various categories. And I am bowled over. I'm number 6 in the UK. And that's overall. So there's 3 categories. There's sales, team building, and leadership, and I've done really well in all the categories. I was pipped at the post on sales. I was 6, and number 5 is where you get to have your picture up, but I was also in number 6 in the country as a whole, and that means I get my photo up at On Stage. So yes, so really happy. Thank you very much to all my customers and my lovely team for supporting me. It's amazing. I really didn't expect it. I know, Kate, we're going to have so many celebrations. Hello, Carol. Hello, Mary from the Netherlands. Sadly, Inika, I can't have Sasha taught that thing because I can't eat chocolate. Otherwise, it would be a great idea. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I mean, I'm stunned, absolutely stunned. It's been a really tough year. I mean, everyone who has achieved anything this year has gone, oh, I didn't expect it. It's been a really tough year, but it has. But we've obviously, is what I'm trying to say, had the same really bad year. So it's, yeah. So yes, number 6. Can't believe it. Anyway, moving swiftly on from that. So yes, I will be. This will be my last live before I go to Vienna, and then I'll be back on the Tuesday, not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, for a live. So I have Simple Stamping Saturday, which is always recorded. Top Tip Tuesday, always recorded. I will have something in place of my 11 o'clock Tuesday morning live, and I'll have something in place of my Thursday afternoon live, and then everything else, as I say, is recorded. So yes, thank you. So yes, today we are using North Pole Mischief, which I bought when the catalogue first came out because I thought it was so cute and I was going to use it a lot, and I've literally just stuck the stickers on the back. So yes, hello Brenton. So anywho, I have done a little bit of prep because there is some fussy cutting, and I've also done some stamping just to speed things up a bit. So let me flip the camera down, if I can find my mouse and the right button. There we are. So let me come back to YouTube. I use different software. Do remember that if you're enjoying what you see, thumbs up is always appreciated. And if you want to know when I go live or when I upload a video, if you hit the subscribe button and the alert bell, you will be alerted that those things have happened. So for my first card, I'm using the Picture This dies, which are in the annual catalogue. You get 2 dies. You get the rectangles and the circles. I've used the circles. They're stitched, which is always lovely, like a bit of extra. And I'm using the Gingham Cottage paper, but for Christmas. I think a lot of people seem to think that it's not for Christmas, and I don't know why. Maybe they're just, you know, maybe I've only seen the people that think it's not for Christmas. Anywho, so I've already stamped this image, but I have almost finished fussy cutting this. I just realised that the whiskers need to be separated. I have taken off the little piece of mistletoe because that really was interesting fussy cutting even for me, and I do like my fussy cutting. So that's that, ready to go. I haven't fussy cut that because I will do that live, as it were. So okay, I've brought out some of the neutrals, anyway, the skin tones. I've got SU 900, SU 800 and SU 700, and I'm going to use those for the cat. It's going to be a bit of a kind of Persian-esque feel to it. So let me just show you the colours now. Let me do them again so that I can show you exactly what the colours look like. So this is 700. This is 800. And this is 900. So with these skin tones, you tend to find there is a yellow and a pink tone. So I've got 2 of the yellows, which are the 7 and, hang on, which one did I do? So 700 is this one, which is the pinky tone, and then 8 and 900 are the more yellow tones. So yeah. Hello Priscilla from a foggy Indiana. Hello Marlene. So those are what I'm going to use for my cat. I'm also going to be using the colour lifter, and I'm also going to be using the 900 for the base of my fishbowl. Brain, where has it gone? And in fact, I just want to try. This is 1,000. No, that's too pale. That's fine. That's fine, because I'm trying to limit how many products I throw at any one project, because otherwise it does get a bit mad. So 900 first. Now Persian cats tend to be quite pale, and I should say that I got the inspiration for this off Pinterest, and I've taken a screenshot. So it was Lisa Marie Smith who was the inspiration for this. So yes, thank you Lisa Marie Smith. So I'm going to add colour to the base, and I'm going to do some around her face. I think of Persian cats as female for some reason. So some around her face and obviously on her tail. But I'm not going to do too much colour. Actually, we might go on. Let's do her. Trouble with having fussy cut it in advance is there's not much to hold on to now, but it's fine. And then I'll do the pinker colour, which is the 700 in her ears. Something, it's like there's something out here happening. Hello, Wendy, you're here! Twice in a row, that's brilliant. Hello, Christine, thank you. Hello, Tammy from Minnesota. I gather you've had snow already in Minnesota, is that right? Can't believe that. Anywho, so 800. I'm just going to go over the top of what I've already done. So I basically put down the lightest colour first, and then I'm coming in with the darker colours, and then I will be doing some colour lifter as well. Lighter colour, darker colour. So let's just have this. I'm just going to use the 700 for a bit of shading, really. And I will then come back in with the lighter colours, particularly the 900, which will blend everything nicely together. Right, and then the colour lifter, just to soften those edges. Because, in fact, so that's what we've got so far. Let me see if I am in camera. Yes, I am. So we've got quite a harsh line, which we want to soften. So I'm just going to come in with the colour lifter and with a circular motion, just blend that out a bit. Now, if you find it's not going fast enough, don't get too carried away because it will suddenly go. Oh, we've got someone from Iraq. Okay. Is there any reason why you don't colour before cut? We have had mad sleet showers today. Ooh. Is there any reason why you don't colour before cut? Well, I've cut. See you later, Lorna, and thank you for sharing. No snow yet, but it's cooler today. Ooh. Is there a reason why you don't colour before you cut? Normally I would colour and then cut. This was for speed. Yeah, this was for speed. Because I will be colouring and fussy cutting the fishbowl, but yeah, it was just for speed. Because I don't want it to just be fussy cutting. Anywho, so that's my cat. Now let's do my my fish. So the palest colour for the bottom of the fishbowl, and the darkest colour for the fish. So it's sort of goldfish-esque. I mean, obviously you could use pumpkin pie, but I do want to not use too many colours. Light pool party. Now just be careful when you have done one colour. If it's not completely dry, you could end up with it running into the one next door, so just be slightly careful. Pretend they're watercolours and just be a little bit careful. And then if you want to add a bit more colour, you can do so. So I have a little bit at the top there and down one side, I think. You probably won't see that. So this one, as I say, colour then cut. Normally I would colour and then cut, but yeah, for speed. The cat is not as easy to fussy cut and therefore not as quick to fussy cut as the goldfish bowl. These are basically just straight lines or very easy curves. And it's personal choice. I mean, some people don't want to bother doing the colouring if they are worried about fussy cutting. Some people would rather fussy cut and then colour. Some people would rather colour than fussy cut. There is no right or wrong way. Now what you can do, which sometimes I do, but if you want to give a bit more depth to your fussy cutting, in fact I might do it on this, you can add a very pale grey around your stamped image, and that can just help make the stamped image pop a little. So I will show you what I mean now. Grey granite or smoky slate? I think we'll go smoky slate. Does painting count as craft? Yes. You do book bending, binding probably. But yes, painting counts as craft. Oh, wrong end. Absolutely, Inika. Some people do excel at it. Now I'm just going to pop this underneath just to act as a protector for my grid paper, which I've managed to keep reasonably clean even though I've been doing lots of filming. So I'm just running this round the edge, catching the card but not the not going into the image. So I'm catching the edge of the card up to the stamped image, and when we come to put this together it will actually help make this pop a little. So that's what we have, and then let's do this one, because if we're doing one we're going to do the other. Then I've just got to stamp a sentiment and some paw prints and we will be good to go. So this is going to hit onto the too much information theory of life. I had some toast for lunch today, toast and a mug of soup, which was jolly warming given the weather is interesting. Floods everywhere, and it was sourdough toast, so the crust was quite hard and I've scraped the top of my mouth, so I'm hoping it's not going to do anything naughty. So what this also does is if by any chance you've overrun with your colouring, this will hide it. So round here, for example, I have rather gone over the line with my colouring, and the grey just helps that disappear. Right, okay, so what have I already prepared? I have got a piece of the black cottage wreath gingham, an ordinary white card base, which is just half a sheet of card. You could do it either short and fat or long and thin. So this is going to go on first, and then this, which is cut slightly larger, it's going to go over the top, but with dimensionals. Floods, yes, floods. Floods, not round arse specifically, but yes, floods. We've had a lot of rain. I mean, around where we are, it's what we would call localised flooding, so where the drains just haven't coped, but anything that was flooded overnight is probably okay now. The other side of the river, so I'm in a village one side of the river and there's a village the other side, and there's always a flood just the other side of the bridge in that village. I say always, whenever there's rain it always floods there. So surprise, surprise, it was flooded this morning. But that was purely because there was so much water that the You can use the grey with any image. I would just change from either grey granite to smoky slate, depending on whether I wanted it to look cooler or warmer. Part of my theory for using smoky slate on this is because I'm using a black / basic grey. So yes, so we've had floods, but say the ones in the village, the other side, will probably be fine now. Right, I really want large black dimensionals, but I don't have any open, so I'm going to use small black dimensionals. Now I want my puddy cat to be poking out, and then there'll be the goldfish bowl, and then we're going to have the sentiment here, and we're going to have paw prints. So this is going to go there, but poking out from behind the paper, but I want this lifted up and the bottom, so her back down. So I'm going to, let's take that off, I'm going to stick a black dimensional just on the end of her tail there, and on the end of there, because I can then use that to adhere her backside, if you like. And then I can have white dimensionals underneath her. Let's bring that in so that it's nearer. So that goes through there, right down to the bottom of the circle, and then that now means that when she's down, there's a shadow. You've been waiting. Yeah, we've had very warm weather as well, but it's kind of making up for it now. I mean, it's still warm, but warmer than it should be. So I'm just seeing that I've got leftover bits, so I'm going to try and use my leftover bits as well. So it's been warmer than it should be, but it's just been so wet this last couple of days. I mean, last night, the wind, because we're in a village, we have, I say because we're in a village, I mean, it's not a given. We are in a village. And so I'm going to get large black because it's annoying me. White, black. We're in a very old village. Hello, Pam. And our electricity comes in overhead, which is fine, except it's quite old cabling, and we do quite often have power cuts as a result. God, we had so many during the beginning of lockdown, because although power employees were deemed to be essential workers, the tree fellers, who made sure that the cables could actually run without hitting trees, were not deemed as essential workers, so they weren't working. This was in the days when, you know, everyone was locked down initially. So we had so many power outages. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But they've mostly sorted that out now. We've got new cabling and stuff, but we do get a lot of power cuts. And last night we were sitting watching television and the lights were flashing on and off. And at one point I got up and said, right, I'm just going to go and get my torch so that when the power goes off, we've got a torch. So yes, I went to get my phone, so I had a torch. Right, okay, so this is where you have to wish me luck. Hello, Leslie. So 20 degrees, that is cool. Oh, 20 degrees above normal. Okay, so 20 degrees Fahrenheit above normal. Yeah, I mean, we should be, now we're about where we should be. A little bit warmer still, but last week, I mean, we had my brother and sister-in-law over on Saturday evening, and I was in linen trousers, no socks, a lightweight top. It had been 20 degrees during the day. I was actually quite worried that I was coming down with something because I felt so hot and sticky, because I was dressed for the autumn, and it was just that I had too many clothes on. But yeah, it was fun, but it's just ridiculous. Okay, so I think we've got nearly all of them off, apart from the ones we want to stick back on again. Right, so this is where I have to be hopeful that I put it on straight and stuff. Ish. It'll do anyway. Hello, Lisa. Right, so my fishbowl's going to go there on dimensionals, or bits of dimensional. I'm going to end up with far too much dimensional on, but it's the bits, so, you know, it's fine. Yeah, way too much dimensional. It's fine. Oop. So that's going in there. Then on these circles, which I'm hoping are all the same size, they are. So I've cut these just out of basic white, and I am going to add the paw print. I like a circle when it comes to these things because it doesn't matter which way up you stamp it. Oh, bless you, Lisa. I try to say hello to everyone. Right, so paw print. Oop. Let's try not to do that again. Flying paw prints is not what I wanted. Thank you. Right, and actually I need a scrap of paper, which I have far too many scraps of paper at the moment. Don't need those on my desk anymore. So I've got the sentiment that says you've been good this year mostly. And I'm going to stamp that, clean my stamp, put the lid on, tuck it away, clean my stamp, I have already sprayed mist. Oh, bless you. You're silently watching at work. Okay, you are not alone in this. Oh, why am I taking that off? You are not alone in this. Quite a few people do that. Right, okay, so we'll go... No, I will. I'll stick with real red. So I want the mostly... Probably fit it on there. Because I want the mostly in red. Right, okay, so fussy cutting again. Obviously easier fussy cutting this time because it's just words. So I'm just going to do kind of not quite straight-ish-esque. This is a really good stamp to just go a bit not quite straight on, because it's just a bit all over the place anyway. So I am deliberately not being straight. But I'm not curving. So we want the year, which will go at an angle for year. So I want these to look deliberately not straight, which is not necessarily the easiest thing to achieve, but we'll do it somehow. Oop. Okay, so that's better. Right, and mostly right, okay, let's sort out what we need versus what we don't. Oh, come along. I cut my nails about a week ago and they're not long enough yet to pick things up easily. That's scrap. That's a word. And that is all going to be scrap. Okay. Oh, you're doing that bit that I get all worried about because you're being quiet watching, which is fine, don't worry. Right, let's get my meant to be sticky out. So I have this one pair of snips that I use for sticky things. They're basically an old pair of snips that have been used and abused. So they're not quite as good as they used to be. So they get relegated to being... Probably don't need all of those actually. So you've... No, yep, no, that's fine. Want that at the end rather than the beginning. So this one I'm going to stick down so I can get my place marker. So you've been gosh, it's almost like that one was cut perfectly. You've been good is going to be interesting because it's very little. Good. Cutting up the sentiment, great tip for those who are not good at... Absolutely, no. Oh, stamping straight. It makes, yeah, ribbon scissors definitely. I mean, back in the day there were, before I joined, sadly, because I would have loved them, there were scissors that were specifically, there were big scissors that were specifically for cutting ribbon. And yeah, not no more. I generally use my ordinary snips for... Oh, okay. Won't use that piece, it went on the floor. I generally use my ordinary snips for ribbon, but when I was at fashion college, we had dedicated paper and fabric scissors, and it makes a huge difference. Paper dulls scissors really quickly. So yeah, and I have been very good with my the scissors that I got when I was at college, and I still only use them on fabric. I mean, on tissue paper for patterns, but nothing else. So you've been good this year mostly, and Where's the other? There it is. Let's see if there's still any glue in here. Because what I'm going to do is... But yes, I mean, I was at college in my early 20s, so 14 years ago. 14 years ago. Long time ago. And they're still actually sharp. Because they've only been used on fabric. I mean, I do know how to look after scissors, because there are things you can do to prolong their sharpness and things, and to keep them lubricated, some of which are weird. And yeah, I think we'll just leave them at weird. It's one of those things that needs to be kept secret, I think, because it's not for polite company. But anyway, I mean, it's not bodily fluids, don't worry, it's nothing like that. Right, I want... Ooh, I know they're not the same colour, but, you know, I think they might work. I'm going to use the pale Sweet Sorbet dots on the sheet that I've got fewest left on, I think. So not the very palest, because I've only got one of those, but I'm still going to use it. And then the little one there. Mostly. So, do I lubricate my scissors? Yes, I will tell you in a minute. I think I might need this set and the dies. Oh, thank you, Hazel. Thank you. Right, do I lubricate my scissors? Yes. Let me flip the camera back up. Okay, so my snips, to keep them lubricated, hair grease. Like I say, I mean, I do put oil in my hair, but even so, if you've got anything, you know, if you've got dry hair, you know, wait until it's not quite so dry, but yes, just that will lubricate your scissors really nicely. Do remember to do them down the shaft of your scissors, not up, otherwise you will end up cutting your hair. But I do that with my dressmaking shears as well. So I just open them up and run them down my hair. And it does make a difference. And that was from the London College of Fashion. You are welcome. Right, so that's my first card done. Yay! Okay, so second card I have done a little bit of prep for, but not much. So I've stamped the dog and the cat. Let's clean the decks a little bit more than they currently are. So, for this one I am going to introduce a bit more colour. We're using Real Red again, so I'm going to bring out my Real Red blends, which may or may not be. Oh, Hazel, well, that's one of the reasons you go down and shut your hair, so you put on and come down. But yes, I hear where you're coming from. So I'm going to use the same colours for the animals, but I'm going to introduce some Real Red. And I may or may not colour the parcel as well, but first of all I'm just going to do the bow. And again, oh, thank you, Inika. As I say, it was inspired by whomever it was that I saw by Lisa Marie Smith, who I'm guessing is in the States, because she calls it Holiday Mini, which I always think holiday is more of an Americanism than for the rest of us. So, light Real Red, So I'm going to colour the whole of the ribbon with light real red, and this is going to be a fancy fold-ish. I mean, it's not going to be that fancy. So if you enjoyed that first card, a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you would like to, it makes the YouTube algorithm feel loved. So the more interaction a video has, the more YouTube shows it to other people. So comments, likes, shares, all those sorts of things make YouTube go, oh, this video is being enjoyed by lots of people. There's lots of interaction. Sadly, even if you give it a thumbs down, well, I say sadly, in a way, not sadly, because it means that it's still counting towards interaction. YouTube can't distinguish between a thumbs up and a thumbs down. So, yes. Weird, huh? Now, I have seen someone put this cat and this dog together, but they've cut. So the dog's still holding the ribbon, but they've cut it here. So they've cut it at the end of that. So it's like he's holding a ribbon without the grumpy cat behind, which is quite cute. So this stamp set is the featured stamp set on the Stamping Through the Catalogue Instagram account. So Stampin' Through the Catalogue, all one word. Instagram, they have a featured stamp set every Tuesday and every Thursday, I think. Sometimes they have a featured designer. But generally it's a featured stamp set. So I'm just coming in with the dark where I think there would be shadow. So inside the bow, for example, overlapping ribbon. So anywhere where a ribbon is overlapping another ribbon or is going under the label. And then there would be shadow, and I think either side of his mouth probably. While I've got this out, I'm going to give him a red collar. Okay, so back to colouring. 700, so this is the darker of the colours. That point, 800, I'm going to switch to the next shade, but I'm still going to have a Persian cat, so the cat is going to look quite different from my dog. And this again, you need to be quite careful around anywhere where there might still be wet red, that you don't end up with red going into the dog, because it would not be that attractive. I am going to come in and do some shading for him. Our dog and 3 kittens get along very, very well. Maggie would never chase cats, and she's besotted with the... Oh, bless. Thank you, Gwen. Hi, Jan. Where are you? Are you in Wheatley or are you in Cornwall? And a bit there. because it's going to be under his collar. And then back in with this just to blend it out. Doesn't need much blending. Maybe just there. Right, okay, so now for the cat, and again, this time I am going to go light to, I am going to go light back to dark, so we're going to, she's got a real harumph on. So this is 900. I love her ears going back, which is so like a cat. So we don't need too much colour on her because it's the same cat. So she's not got much colour on her. So that's the light shade. Then 800. And finally 900. So it's all very subtle. And then back with, you're in Weekly. So are you reasonably dry? Because it was very wet here yesterday. Because Weekly is just the other side of the hill from where I live. So again, I'm just blending this with the blender colour lifter, colour pusher backer as I tend to call it. Right, I'm going to come in with the light red again just to blend some of these shadows out a bit more. That's better. Right, okay, so we've already got Smoky Slate coming into our mix, so let's give him that as Smoky Slate. How are we doing for timing? I have got time to colour the box. It's just what colour to go. Might go not early espresso, evening evergreen. Let's go light, bit damp. Hope you didn't have any flooding because the middle of your village is quite low. Weekly is basically built in a valley. Although I know you're a bit further out than the centre. Oh, for crying out loud, Liz. I'm colouring the cat. So let's see if we can get rid of some of that green on the cat. You couldn't make it up. How many of you were screaming at your screens? Right, so the cat is going to be a bit more all over. I'll sort that out in a minute whilst I... Dear Lord. Let's colour the box, shall we? Not the cat. I will deal with that in the fullness of time. I'm waiting for the comments because you're slightly behind. I'm waiting for the comments where you go, no, don't do that, Liz. You're on the wrong thing. You're on the cat. Any second now, they will be coming up. Oh dear. Yeah, brain dangerous. You just can't get the staff. I mean, it is going. I will need to sort out the ribbon a bit, and I'll need to have another go with the colour lifter. But we're getting there. I'm trying to ignore it for the moment. but we all do it. Right, so we now have a green parcel. Yeah, okay, so let's push that back a bit more, because it doesn't actually lift the colour off, it pushes it further back. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to have a brown cat. Right, okay, let's just do that. Right. Can you still get rid of the green? I've not done too badly. Let me... So it's a little green, but once we've covered it up with some brown, it'll be fine. So we're going to have, you know, a bit of brown over the top. It's fine. I mean, it pushes it back. I don't know why they call it a colour lifter, because it's not. It's a colour pusher backer. You're in on-stage mode. No, I'm in, oh my God, I've got so much to do before on-stage mode. Right, so 700 will do it. It's going to look a little odd, but it'll be fine. We'll know. So we'll do that, then we'll get the colour lifter, the infamous colour lifter, and just blend that out so it's got a brown back and a white bit on it, like that. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. Light red. It's less than perfect, but it's fine. Right, let me move that out of the way. Let me get rid of those. Oh, except I do want the smoky slate, because I don't like things sitting in midair. So we're going to give it something to sit on. Because otherwise I think it looks really odd. Thick end. Right, okay, so we have a long thin card base scored in the middle. Or not, as the case may be. Let me... Really isn't my day. Let me just get some more real red out. That was a... Here's one I prepared earlier. I mean, it was been hanging around in my... Great save, thank you. It's been hanging around in my... in the plastic wallet for ages, and now I know why. Hello, Kay. Well, thank you. Don't you have anything better to do? Do you know, Bonzo? I do. I have something a lot better to do. I can report you, and I can remove you. So that's what I can do with my time. Remove, hide you. There we go. That's what I can do. There we go. Just getting rid of. Okay, report. Oh. Okay, your colour pusher backer doesn't work. Your colour pusher backer doesn't work like that. Maybe that it's just needs replacing. Yeah, we don't, you know, it's, I take it as almost a compliment that there's some point in being on my channel. Anyway, so I've scored in half this time, and then, so that's not quite 15. Half of not quite 15 is not quite 7.5 centimetres. So I'm going to score, in fact I might actually score at, just doing this in my head. So what we're going to do is we're going to have that, and then we're going to have that. Right. Okay, I'm there. So about 7.5. So that's going that way. That's going that way. We do need a piece of white card for there. Can't even see what I'm looking for. So to test whether your colour lifter, as I say, I call it a pusher backer, is working, what needs replacing, what I would do is take the fat end and pop it on your basic white, and if it's slightly translucent, then there's alcohol in there. If it's not, then it probably needs replacing. So yeah, so this has gone slightly translucent because it's got alcohol. Yeah. Right, okay, so I now want a piece of this, because I'm going to stick with this, not this side, don't worry. And I'm going to do really easy matting. I'm going to take a pencil and mark where I want to cut. Much the easiest way to do matting. Just mark the back of your piece of paper, and then you don't have to measure. You've got the wrong thing. It blends, but you think... So is it one of these? Is it a colour lifter, or is it something similar? Let me just grab a piece of white, because that's going to need to go in there. Right, okay, we are pretty good to go. So, if you're thinking about the blender pen, which is this, then it won't work. So there's the colour lifter, which is one of the blends, and then there's the blender pens, which come in a pack of 3. So pop that there. And we need... It's almost gone. Just saying. It's almost... If we didn't know, we probably wouldn't know, if you see what I mean. Right. Seal. And if I ever get round to putting these on the... Hello, Audrey! Ooh, not nice. Not nice at all. Sorry to hear that. So yes, if I ever get to pop this on my website, I will put the measurements on for you. Right, so I'm doing this so it's square to the whole card front, more or less. So again, I'm just going to take my pencil and slightly under the fold mark the edge, and that's where I'm going to have adhesive. And just double check that it's the right bit, particularly bearing in mind that we are all fallible. I have got a nice new pot of liquid adhesive sitting on my desk, but I'm blowed if I'm going to start using it until I have to. So, as I say, this is going to go basically in the middle of the card, like that. Just check that we haven't got any glue sticking out the back. That's why the cat has to go. Be naughty. Oh dear. Right, so that's going to go in there with seal. Don't need that anymore. I'm actually sometimes quite pleased when I go wrong on a live, because it does show a number of things. A, we are all fallible, and I can then sort it out and show you how that's done. Right, now I think it'd be quite cute to have some paw prints down the side, so we'll do that. So I'm going to have one so that it's sticking out the top, and one so it's sticking out the bottom. Yep. And then we can, I'm going to deliberately do them kind of offset, because then they don't have to be in a straight line. It's almost like I worry that I'm not going to get them straight. After today, I can understand why. So there you are, to the North Pole. Little fun fold. So those are our 2 cards for today. So, oh bless you, Gwen, thank you. So yeah, those are our 2 cards, complete with how to get Evening Evergreen out of the back of your cat. I mean, seriously. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you're watching the replay and you've got any questions or comments, you can leave those below the description bar. And I will get back to you. And yes, so I will there will be a video next. Oh dear Lord. The next video will be on Saturday morning. Thank you, Inika. And then through until Tuesday, Top Tip Tuesday next week, everything will be pre-recorded. Exactly, Hazel. Thank you, Wendy. Excellent, Pam. So yes, I will be live again Tuesday week, so in 10 days. Thank you, Nora. Enjoy the wedding, because I know you're going to a wedding. So yes, let me flip the camera up so I can say goodbye properly. That one. And back onto YouTube. There we go. Hopefully I'm in camera. Am I in camera? Yes, that's all right then. The lag does my head in sometimes. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Hazel. So yes, if you've enjoyed it, a thumbs up. If you wish to share, that would be lovely as well. If you're watching the replay, do remember you can leave a comment below the description bar and I will get back to you. I'm up to date as of last night, so I have a little blitz every now and again. So as of last night, I am up to date. My next updating will probably be when I'm sitting in an airport lounge, which will be next Tuesday morning. So until then, thank you very much indeed. Look after yourselves, stay safe, stay dry, and I will see you all again when I'm back from Vienna. If you want to catch a few things of Vienna, things I'm allowed to share, do remember to follow me on Instagram. There are links all over. If you go over to my website, you'll definitely find my Instagram account. So more thumbs up, please. Oh, bless you, Inika. So yes, thank you very much indeed. As I say, I'll do some whatever I can sneak peek. Well, it won't be sneak peeks, but because we're not allowed to share a lot of stuff. But I will share what I can while I'm in Vienna. Until then, bye-bye.